All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Weird Together, where we talk about how being the weirdo is the best thing you can do for yourself. And we are continuing to talk to the amazing psychics and new friends from the Central Ohio Psychic Fair. Today we have Arlene, who's an amazing tarot card reader and an absolute delight. So, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. You're so sweet. Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. We had the psychic fair was wonderful. Good time.
Yeah, it was really fun putting it together.
Yeah.
Did you even notice the protesters outside?
I heard about them.
Oh, that was
I didn't go out there because the energy was like a little wonky. So I was like, no, not going outside.
yeah, it was wild because when I set the date, I immediately got this vision of like angry men outside, but I also knew that they wouldn't come in and they wouldn't actually disrupt the fair, that there would just be angry men outside because of political climate. I'm like, is ICE trying to get in? And then when I just saw it was like some people telling me I'm going to hell, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It was like nothing I haven't heard before. I looked at the one guy's eyes and I'm like, you don't want a conversation, so I'm gonna go back inside. So yeah.
Yeah. So yes, they stayed out. Their energy stayed outside, which was good, and all of us had a good time indoors. We had a great time. Yeah,
It's really beautiful.
yeah, it was. We made new friends. The sound bath, the singing bowls. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it was good. Lots of fun.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah.
The final sound bath was actually when I was teaching a class upstairs, and I didn't realize how much sound actually went upstairs into the yoga room. But it was really cool because kept people pretty deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really
that's
good.
really cool. Yeah, that's the first time I've done a fair where I had the sound included, and I think I love it.
Yes.
So the next one, I think I'm going to try to find a theremin because it'll fit the theme, which is to be announced.
Ooh, nice.
Probably Tuesday because my meeting's on Monday. Anyway, so how
Ooh.
long have you been reading?
Um, a long time. I so a little background, I guess. As a kid, I read a lot of books, astrology, numerology, and so when I came to Columbus, it was a spiritual group, and we met once a month, and they were very encouraging and supportive. And I didn't have that before, because in my family, I was the only one that was in the spiritual stuff. So, and I'm going to tell a story. So last year I met this girl and she was telling me that she's the only one in her family. She feels weird. And I was like, embrace the weirdness. It's okay. So I'm glad your podcast is let's get weird together. Yes, let's embrace the weirdness because I think we're all weird, but so I was the only one in my family too, that was into all the spiritual things. And so in this group, I learned to read cards. I taught myself, and it was nice that you could go there and practice. There was no judgment. They were very welcoming, and so that was lovely. And that so I just went from there, and then I learned Reiki, so energy healing. So continuing the learning because that's what we're here for, right? Learn, grow, evolve, expand. So yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. And how did you deal with being the only one in your family into all this? Like, how's that affected your relationships?
Well, it feels like I have a secret life. Like there's like this Arlene that's goes to work and very professional, and then there's the spiritual side of me. So I had to realize that not everyone's gonna be into this or like it, and that's okay. So yeah, I was fine with that. They're not into, my family's not into it, and that's okay. They don't understand it, and their soul didn't sign up for that. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're all intuitive, psychic, alchemists. It just depends on what your soul signed up for, to what to focus on. And so I just came to peace with that within me, that I was like, oh, I'm okay. They don't have to like everything I like. They don't have to do everything I do, right? That's okay. We could all, you know, Spirit had gave me this as a way to relate to others, as you have your favorite ice cream, let's say, and they like chocolate chip and you like pistachio.
Hmm.
That's okay. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to all like the same thing. So in that way, I was like, all right, so it's more accepting of that, and be able to go, okay, this is fine. I don't have to have their approval. And so I gave it to myself.
Hmm.
So in that, I didn't have to search for it. I gave it to myself.
And the other thing I'm hearing that, which I really love, is that your interest in spirituality is a thing you're into versus an identity. And I think that's where a lot of people have more pain.
I
That makes
see.
sense because if like, no, I'm spiritual and it's my identity, it's more of a rejection and it's just like, oh, this is just a thing I love.
Yes, that's how I guess I view it, because
Yeah.
I guess we're multidimensional,
Hmm.
wear many hats, and I just view it as maybe one part of me, or one aspect of me,
Yeah.
or one thing that I like. It's not the complete picture, because I like other things too. I like to make jewelry. I like to make journals. Yeah, there's a lot to me. I think to all of us, we're not just one thing. You can be a daughter, a teacher, a mother. You're many things. So yeah, yeah,
Very cool. Of
absolutely.
all the things that you are, which one's your favorite currently?
My favorite.
Yeah, which one's bringing you just the most joy? Not to put shade on any of the other things, but what's like got you really excited?
I let's say I love talking about energy, and I guess the healing. So,
Hmm.
I relate to healers, and um all the healing that we do. I've learned a lot from healers.
Hmm.
So I started a group for healers to come together and exchange a healing with each other. So, because I notice healers are trying to do it all themselves, and sometimes they can be in a place where they are going through something and they're trying to just, tough it out and do it themselves. And so this way, I'm letting healers know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to let people in, right? To receive. And so I'm into that space right now of focusing on healing and what I can do to add to my toolkit, add more skills.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, yeah. But so that's currently
Wow. Awesome. How often does your group meet?
once a month.
Okay.
So, and it's been a good way to get together to practice. The
Mhm.
last time we got together, it felt there was so much going on at the same time, but we loved it. It felt like a spiritual retreat. And so we decided, oh, why don't we do a spiritual retreat? So we're going to be doing that this summer.
Wonderful.
Um, yeah, so yeah, it was good. Yeah, it just came together so well, with singing bowls and tuning forks. And there's one healer, she was doing Kundalini activation for us. It was just fun. It was just a blast. Yeah, it was a good time. So excited.
That does sound fun. So when it comes to readings, what are common misconceptions people have about what a reading entails or what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. That came up recently. Um, Seems like for some, they think maybe because of society or the movies, they think that a reading is just about the future or predictions or and just that. And it's not. So most of the time, it's going to be well, cards in themselves is a way to connect to spirit. It's an easy way to connect to them, receive some insights. And so most of the time it's going to be your current situation. Your current situation is what's going to, present and be like, we're going to give you some info on this, let you know what's going on behind the scenes, kind of thing. So so I had a reading recently where the girl was like, she was upset because here's the thing. She was wanting to know what was going to happen, but she didn't ask. When you have to ask, right? So questions are so important. You have to ask. I mean, question is the doorway to knowledge. So you have to ask. So she asked something else. So that's what came, the info came
Yeah.
through. And then she was upset because what she wanted to know, wanted to, she didn't ask. She was
Yeah.
afraid to ask. And so I'm like, oh, interesting that she was wanting to so focus on what is going to happen. It's like,
Yeah.
let's be in the present moment because what you do today actually is going to affect the future,
Right.
right? Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Yeah. So yeah, I'll just let people know about that. Like, it's not always about the future, about what's happening right now.
No, I get it. Actually, my first 10 years as a reader, I wouldn't do future readings at all because I believe so strongly that, like you said, that we're constantly changing the future. It wasn't until I started to learn a little bit enough about astrology to really get it that I started to bring in future readings. So now I have a section which is like, here's the lessons that you've already called in, and here's how you deal with them. And then I have this is what's going to happen. But if you don't like what's going to happen, here's like four things you could change to change that, which is super fun.
Yeah,
But yeah, it took me a
absolutely.
long time to be like, the future's unwritten. I can't tell your future until I'm like, oh, I did learn how to eventually be accurate in prophecy. But yeah,
There's so many
there
possibilities.
are.
Like, I let people know, don't limit yourself. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They want to be like in this box, and it's like so many possibilities. Let's open the box. Let's get some fresh air. Let's expand. And so for people to be open to
Hmm.
possibilities, that's I think the better way to go.
Yeah. And going back to movies, so what's the number one thing that bothers you about how tarot is represented in movies?
They make it seem it's so funny as I hear people talk about like they like, oh, tarot cards are bad or evil or
Yeah.
this and that, so negative. Or is someone saying the other day that they talked to someone who was like, crystals are bad, and I'm like, what? Like, no, crystals come from the earth. It's like, no, wait, what? So yeah, cards, people are viewing it as so negative, and it's like, no, it's just how you use it, and it's not it's not negative, it can be very positive. Cards, I have found cards, there are cards that are very empowering, that help you with your what I call homework, your inner work, your shadow work. There are cards that are activation cards. There are cards that will help you connect. So let's say you want to connect to dragons, and so that would be a great way. Get a deck of cards with dragons and start connecting with that energy. So I found cards to be fun.
Hmm. I love to use dragons as an example because that's been my standard deck for like 20 years now.
Oh,
It's a
the
dragon deck.
dragon, the
You know,
dragon.
found them in Cleveland. They just jumped off the shelf at me. They're like, deck.
I know. I've talked about some stuff like that in groups before, and people are like, "What?" Like, okay, so one time I was telling this group, and I was like, so I was in meditation, and two unicorns came, did a healing on me, and I know that I saw the look on their face, like, is she for real? Like, what? So I think as adults, we look at, the unicorns and the mermaids and
Hmm.
like, oh, that's cute. But they think fantasy, and then it's like, oh no, it's a thing. They're real,
Hmm.
So like the M&M commercial, they see Santa and they're like, oh, they're real. So the unicorns came and did a healing on me, and unicorn is like such high vibe, and they work with the rainbow light energy. Yeah, it's just amazing. So try to let people know that it's okay to go ahead and communicate with other beings, as long as you're respectful, right?
Hmm.
And courteous and respectful and polite in that way, that you would get to know them, on your own if you
Hmm.
wanted to. So I love that because I've got Kuan Yin here, so that's another way you can the Kuan Yin deck that I have.
Okay.
Uh, that's how it's for me. That's how it
Hmm.
started. Is I got the deck, and then I was able to connect with her energy and started to feel her and get to know her in that way.
Hmm.
Um, in meditation out in nature, I was pixies came,
Hmm.
and so I talked to the pixies, and we want to talk about weird. Let's talk.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
So yeah, I've talked to gnomes, I've talked to
Hmm.
pixies, fairies, unicorns, what else? Um, so yeah, spirits, you know, yeah. So it's been fun. I feel like it's been good to get to know them. I feel like they're all brothers and sisters. We're all brothers and sisters. So yeah, yeah,
Really cool.
fun.
Those are fun, delightful experiences. Have you had any sort of scary or unnerving experiences with the unseen realm?
The only thing would be, I don't know, I guess others may view it as scary. I
Right.
just like, so I did have an entity that was following me around.
Hmm.
And I come to find out that following me around, and kind of messing with my energy, not really attached to me, but had been following me around. And so I had a friend, shaman, that I was able to get a healing session with her and be able to help this entity spirit to return to the light. And so we did that. And so that would be, one example that
Yep.
might freak some people out. A spirit following them around everywhere. But yeah, so, but I'm lucky and fortunate that I have those friends that I can call and be like, hey, I've got this sensei following me around. Can you help? Can you help me? So yeah. Um, I don't know. I've heard of other situations where there was at this one spirit shop, Kindred Collective. They're closed now,
Hmm.
but there was a very negative entity in there
Hmm.
that she had to clear out. We had felt it, and she was like, I didn't wasn't able to stay to help her, but she was able to clear it out of there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but these entities, they're just scared. They're just as
Hmm.
scared as you, and they really don't know where to go, and they're not sure what to do. And so if you can help guide them to where they're supposed to go, or ask Archangel Michael for protection,
Hmm.
or Archangel Michael to help remove these entities. If anyone's listening and is like, oh, I do, I would go with, yeah. Archangel Michael is the protecting angel, and you don't have to be religious or be a certain religion to talk to the angels. I'll put that out there too.
Yeah. So I've also been asking everybody, what's been your relationship to religion, especially reconciling that with being spiritual?
um, the religion is just a way for people to help them to connect to source. I feel like that's just one way. But I think there's multiple ways, whether you are meditating in nature. I mean, everything is God, everything is source. So I feel like, you talk to the trees, talk to the birds, you're connecting with source. So, that's your relationship with the source is how's your relationship with yourself, with your
Hmm.
neighbor, with, you know, the planet, with the earth, with the trees.
Hmm.
And so that connection it's all source. And that's how I view it, to where, I'm like, everything's God. So um, religion's just a way for people to feel closer to God.
Okay.
You I know they do other things, but try to control, everybody.
But
But
yeah.
it's like
And
a,
were you raised in any particular religion?
Catholic, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I went to Catholic school, and we had to wear a
Okay.
uniform, and we had the nuns, and we had, and they see things a certain way. And
Yeah.
um I'm not making fun of, I may laugh about it now when I look
Yeah.
back, but I appreciate that because I
Mhm.
have such a strong connection to God because of that.
Yep.
And so that helped me in that way. And to be able to have and feel comfortable talking to angels.
Hmm.
So that was helpful with my upbringing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, no, religion is good in its own way. It's just that I think again, there's limiting beliefs in there, and if they tell someone, well, you need to go to church on Sunday and pray on Sunday, and you can only pray on certain days at certain times, and I'm like, no, we can pray about anything, anytime, anywhere.
I got to tell my mom that I finally found my first church as an adult.
Oh,
It's the Church
nice,
of the Sparkling Unicorn.
nice.
Yeah. My prayer is ecstatic dance on Sundays.
I want to go to that. My friends and I are planning to go.
It's free the first time,
Yeah, it'll be
which is
fun.
awesome. And if you need, there's also, I know some people won't come. It's like, I need my shoes. If you have indoor shoes, you can wear shoes there, just so you know, for
Okay.
people who need, you know. But yeah, it's really good. It's like, but I also grew up Catholic too. But to me, when I would connect with God, it was when I was staring at the art, listening to the pipe organ. It had nothing to do with what that old man was saying up front. But I just remember just like being in these cathedrals and like feeling the awe and the connection. And I think it helped that my mom, who was a little bit of a hippie, she was an ex-nun, but she would also bring in things like God isn't everything, like so when she did my religious education, it was, not from the strictest education that you can get. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
So, what other events will be at the Church of the Sparkling Unicorn?
It's really loosely run as far as being a community center, so there's all sorts of things happening. I like I said, I have my meeting on Monday to figure out when the next psychic fair is. We are doing on the 2nd of May, we're doing a trance posture, which is really fun. And it's for the goddess Tara. So I'm reading a book on her because I actually assist with those. And that's where you actually go into a shamanic trance and you have an experience with the deity. And so we
Oh,
do those monthly.
cool.
I'm a little biased towards that one. And since I took over doing the altars, the trances have been really intense.
Nice.
Yeah, as opposed to before. Because I think it's because the deities are talking to me for a full month before I show up. So I'm really primed and ready versus just because you can just walk off the streets, not know what you're doing, pop into these and have an amazing experience.
Yes.
Because we have had people literally wander in and be like, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to try it because Dr. Susan is really amazing, right? Her mother actually discovered rediscovered posture trance as a modality and wrote a few books. There's a few centers for her around the world. Because
So,
she noticed, because as an anthropologist, she knows like all the statues would have the deity in the same position. And when you hold that posture, you become them.
oh my goodness. Someone was telling me that a
Yeah.
couple months ago that I had been going like this, and they were
Mhm.
like, "You look like this goddess," da 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 da, and I
Mhm.
was just like, "I do," and because I have my eyes closed, and I was like, and I was like relaying messages, and they're like, "You remind me of this goddess," and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." So I like that. I
You
like that
might
a lot.
you might have been channeling her because like somatics and somatic healing is a real thing, right? There's a whole and it's becoming more and more popular, right? Literally how you hold your body. And then that's also the thing with yoga too. It's about alignment. So alignment of the physical body, how we hold our physical body can change our energy bodies.
Oh, nice.
So
I
it's
love that.
right.
Ooh, that is awesome.
But yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. And then chanting too helps
Mm.
connect with the goddesses.
Yeah, I have a book on how to do all the chants for tarot, but this one's without the chanting. We
Okay.
do vocal toning during the because there's two meditations. So there's the vocal toning as we do the singing shaman posture to open the door, and then for the Tara portion, it's just silent. It's just the rattle.
Nice.
Yeah. But there's things happening in and around the church nearly every day of the week. Like when I first became a part of this community, and really just need to get on the ecstatic dance email list. I was like, oh, I was trying to figure out when I was going to do one of my coaching programs. And I'm like, there's something I want to attend every day of the week. So I had to give up something I wanted to do in order to do my own work because it's just so involved. So yeah,
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
it is. It's a very good thing. And I'm also thinking about I've made a few more friends throughout this process setting up the fair. So there's probably going to be smaller events over the summer.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so I get to pull in some different people, readers that I met through this to be like, you'd be good for this space or for this space. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh, cool.
I used to do a lot of theater, so I love producing events.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. There's a lot up in the
Yeah,
air right now.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Bringing, people together. With the pandemic, people were like, no, and now people are in need of that community.
Right.
So last weekend, I went to, they call it a paint party, but she did the singing bowls and we painted on tote bags. And
Yes.
we had a beautiful time, and even though we didn't know each other, we just chatted away like we did know. And, and so I felt like we were talking and we were all like, we need more of this, more community, more getting together and just sitting and talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And
Like like Zoom's a great thing. I was happy that my work went online. But now nobody wants to be online anymore, except for my out of state or out of country students, and I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we've learned how that we have a choice in how we connect. But yeah, I agree with you that there we do need to keep creating more in person events right now.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, because just
Keep
looking at the
raise,
yeah,
yeah, keep raising the vibration. Yeah.
and also like we also have to realize the importance of community and not like your because your online community it can be good, but it's not the same as being in person and actually showing up.
Hmm.
It's something about like getting in your car and driving somewhere and put in the effort to be part of a community.
Right. And when in person, you're
Mm.
present.
Yep.
You're in that present moment. Yeah, it's quite different. Yeah. You have
Well,
to,
yeah, and you're sharing the energy. So, what have been some of your challenges that you come up against when it comes to being in your creating community in your own life?
uh, that's a good question. I guess, well, it was easier when you had a place to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to Kindred Collective, and would do readings there on Sundays, but we would get together and then a group of us would go on a hike and meditate. Or, it was nice to just sit in the shop and people would come and she'd be like, have some tea, and we would sit and chat. And I had one fellow come in and sat with me and started talking about, because he saw me, I use tuning forks.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me when using the tuning forks, he had all these questions, and we sat and chatted, and it was just lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But now I guess it's finding that space, the place where people will feel comfortable and safe, and it's okay to ask the questions and talk about all these different things. So yeah, that I've been in the search for a space like that we can do some more get groups gatherings. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Mhm.
So, what are all the services that you offer people? And are you in person only or do you work online?
Currently in person,
Mm-hmm.
and usually when people come to me, it's for a reading or a healing. So I'll use Reiki or tuning forks or crystals, different things. And it is mostly to help the soul to move forward on their path. We can have a chat and talk about what things might be, blocking you or holding you back, or there may be something that needs released or and taken care of, in the moment. Got to do your homework. Can't do your homework for you. Sorry. You have to do it yourself. But at least I could let you know what it is.
Yeah.
I can tune in and be like, "Okay, this is what they're saying. There you go." And let you know what you can do. So and there's different ways, for healing or for balancing your chakras or to release something. It doesn't have to be one way or a certain way. It could be there's different
Mm-hmm.
ways. So I usually will share that,
Mm-hmm.
info with someone and help them to balance or do aura clearing, raise their vibration. They can do that with tuning forks, essential oils, and you can do it that way. And then what else? I can do womb healing. So I was certified in that recently, and that is um, clearing away. Sometimes there could be trauma, um, trapped emotions in the body in that space. And so this will clear some of that and help lighten things up. Yeah. And have you reconnect and rebalance.
Amazing.
And yeah, 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 definitely.
All right. And so how do people get a hold of you? How do they find you?
Um, good question. I volunteer several places. So the Spiritualist Temple on State Street in downtown Columbus, they have a forum first Saturday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find me there. Or you can email me at sacredspace377 gmail.com and get more info, and connect that way. So,
So very, very word of mouth.
yeah. Yeah, just started out because this was all kind of like like something I maybe someone would consider a hobby. Because I was just like, oh, this is what I like. So and I can do all these different things. And so yeah, I had for years people would say, that they feel better when I'm around, or
Mm-hmm.
they were like, oh, this stuff would heal when you show up. And I was like, I dismissed it. I was just like, yeah, whatever. You give me too much credit, like blah blah. Then one day I was having lunch with a friend. We were at a restaurant and he had a rash on his face and we're eating, chatting away, and the rash just cleared and healed up. And I was just like, oh, it is me. I'm like, okay, I need to learn more about healing then. This is what I'm here for. So yeah, that's got me started on my journey.
That's really
So,
cool.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And it's lovely that you invited me, and it was lovely to meet you, and I had a wonderful time.
Good. And
So
is there
thank you.
any last thought that you want the audience to know? Any message for them?
Not to be afraid to explore and expand and ask questions. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's been delightful getting to know you.
Well, thank you. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so much.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you to the listeners. Thanks for joining in and listen to Let's Get Weird together. Remember to like, subscribe, listen to all the ads so I get my 11 cents every month. I love you guys.
Yeah. Embrace the weirdness. Woohoo. Love you.
Absolutely.
Bye.